So you're thinking of crocheting. That's awesome. I love crochet. I'm passionate about it, and I think it's great that you want to learn also. What you need to start isn't much at all, just to see if you like it. So I recommend going and picking up a aluminum crochet hook, just whatever is cheap and cheerful nearby. When I started crocheting in Nairobi 15 years ago, the biggest hook I can get was a 4mm, which is even smaller than this one. It's really tiny. Well, it's not really tiny, but it's that tiny. And I made a whole blanket with it. It took me about a month. So I don't recommend that because I stopped crocheting for like 8 years after I finished my blanket. So I recommend, and how we start in our classes is with a 6mm hook. So it's nice and big. You get somewhere with your project, like each stitch is like a centimeter tall, and you can really work. It's much more satisfying. Go with that. And then, so a 6mm hook, approximately 5.5 is fine. 6.5 is fine. 5 is also fine. Try to avoid a 4. And a light colored yarn with no texture. So it doesn't really matter necessarily like what color you use, but have a light color. Any dark colors, it's hard to see your stitches, and it's hard to see where you're going to go, where you have been. You can't really see what you're doing. Even when you know what you're doing, it's a challenge. So don't challenge yourself when you're learning to crochet. Just do a nice light color, no texture. But any color you like, it's not that particular. You're also going to need a darning needle. There's a bunch of different kinds. I got metal ones first because I thought they would be the best. I find myself using these plastic ones. I think I got a bag of 100 of them. They're bendy, so they kind of go through my work. Like I feel like if I pull it through a stitch, it'll squish to get through, and I find them easier to thread. It could just be in my head, and I also kind of worry that I'm going to lose my nice metal ones, so I end up just kind of leaving them somewhere where I know where they are, and then actually using these like around the house for my crochet. But either of those are fine. You can try whatever you like. That's what you need to start. Oh, and one pair of scissors. So hook, scissors, yarn, darning needle. That's what you need to start crochet and even finish a project. You don't even need the darning needle unless you're going to finish your project. So to try it, you don't even need the darning needle. But scissors, hook, a yarn. Once you've started crocheting and you know that it's something that you want to do more of, you're enjoying it and becoming passionate about it, then you probably want to upgrade your hooks. These are really great to start. It's low investment, so you know, if you hate crochet, it's not into it, you lost $1 or $2. So, you know, not to be unfrugal, but it's not a big deal. Once you do like crochet, you'll probably never ever want to look at these again because they're awful on your hands. They're not awful, but yes, they are. Like, they're fine until you know better. And once you know better, these are like a torture device. So you're going to get over those. These are like gateway hooks. They're cheap and great and so much more comfortable. Like, you will never go back to an aluminum hook. We sell these for $40 or 4,000 shillings, and they come with 11 hooks. The smallest is a 2.25, which is small, like lace kind of work, so we're not using that. But they go all the way up to an 8 mm. So if you went to buy an 8mm hook in Nairobi, if you could find one, yeah, good luck. Anyway, good luck. So this is a good way to get an 8mm hook. And it comes in a good case where you can keep them all like popped back into their slots, and you get to kind of know what color goes with what hook, and they're fabulous. Like, I used these for about 4 months before I decided to splurge and treat myself to my favorite set of hooks, which are the Clover. They are the same style of hook, but the shaft is matte finish and it just glides through the yarn like butter. You don't even feel any resistance. You're just like crocheting, so you can crochet faster. And I also feel that I don't stop as often because I don't drop as many stitches. Although sometimes you'll see my videos and I'll be trying to hurry or trying to do something and I'm like losing stitches left, right, and center because, you know, you're on camera. So, but if you're not on camera, these are fabulous. I mean, they're great. So those are really good. Then another set that I have and also recommend later, once you're committed to crochet, are these light up crochet hooks. So these are basically super fabulous. You can crochet literally in the dark. So power goes out, Nairobi, or you're camping, or you're in a car, or whatever, family movie night, and you don't want to watch Star Wars for the 5th time. You can just kind of sit quietly and do crochet without bugging anybody. They actually really light up. I can crochet in the dark just with my hook. It takes a bit of getting used to because like the first couple times you're like, oh, it's a bright light, I'm staring at a bright light. But no, you're not. I can crochet for hours with these. And I do. They're great. So those are really good. And later on, there's also, you're going to probably be wanting stitch markers. Probably like after your 4th or 5th project. Beginner projects don't really need you to start looking after your stitches because it's not really the point of, easy learning. But maybe your 5th project, you can get it a bit more complicated. Not complicated, but I don't know. They're also handy for beginner project. You can see where you started. You can mark your stitches. So they're good. They work basically just like a safety pin. You just pop it in and then close it shut like a safety pin, and they keep track of your stitches. They're fabulous, and they're super cute. Like, they're charming. If you don't have stitch markers, you can just use like a bobby pin. I got a bunch of those too, and you just pop those straight onto your stitch. The faster and easier thing about bobby pins is you just push them on and off. You don't have to sit there and fiddle, but they do not have the same charm. But it depends where I am. I have them everywhere. I use both, depending what I want to do. Also, crochet case, if you decide you're going to upgrade your hooks, you're probably going to want to put them somewhere really cute. So I use these nice, it's my second one. I also upgraded this. I had a smaller one. But this is the bigger one. So I have my size 4mm up to my 6mm in this one side, and then I have my bigger ones in the back portion. I have my big ones here. Those are also clover. Fabulous. Yeah, so these guys, and these are the light up hooks. I can show you that kind. So they just light up, and then you can see where you're stitching. You can see how many loops you have on your hook. You can see where your next stitch is. Super easy. So those are good, and they just take watch batteries, like from the grocery store. So to put new ones in is very easy. The small little watch batteries. So that's good. You also could upgrade your scissors in the future, like once you're into it. I got these ones because I thought they were really cute and I wanted cute scissors. Turns out they cut yarn like butter. Like, you don't even notice you've cut the yarn. You don't feel it. There's no resistance. There's no pushing. Just suddenly there's 2 pieces of yarn. So they don't tell you that about these embroidery scissors, but that's why people buy them. They are so fantastic. They're also super, super sharp. So what you can do is, if you're a knitter, or if you live somewhere where you can buy knitting needle protectors or knitting needle stoppers or something, you can just put those on the end of your scissors, and they keep it from like coming out of your bag or ripping something or damaging a child. But we don't have those in Kenya, so we got these earplugs, the squishy kind, and we just cut a little hole slowly in the center, and we just put those on the end of our scissors, and that just keeps the tip from damaging anyone around you. And then those go really cute into the case. So that's really all you need. So to start, 6mm hook, light colored yarn, no texture, nothing fancy about it, just plain old light colored yarn of any particular color. Obviously, we have a lot to pick from if you're in Kenya. I think we have the best selection in Kenya, to be honest. Blush. So that's it. 6mm hook, yarn, darning needle, and a pair of scissors. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please share it with your friends. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions or would like to see any tutorials, leave it in the comments below. I'd be happy to make a tutorial for you. And share your crochet journey. So exciting. Stay hooked.